Hey, how's it going, everybody? So they released the roster for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and unlike the vast majority of people, I'm not happy about it. So many people are, they're boasting like 182 different characters, and that's not exactly true. And before I get any hate saying, "Oh, you just don't like Dragon Ball" or whatever, just take a look up behind me. Right there's my little Vegeta hanging up, and I got all these little Dragon Ball energy drinks for decoration. So I love Dragon Ball. I've been playing Dragon Ball games. There was a terrible one on the PlayStation One that I had. I don't remember the name of it, but the Budokai series on PlayStation 2, I loved. I spent so many times at my friend's house playing it. We would get together and just have like tournaments between all of us. And the thing that I really liked about those games was you had to bring up your power. So what my friend and I would do is we would usually play Goku and Vegeta. I would be Vegeta. And some matches we would just let ourselves get to full power so we could transform. Other matches we would fight and see who could get to the transformations first. And the thing about the transformation is once you transformed, your energy bar would go down unless you continue to attack or continue to play well. If you did too many moves or just all you did was dodge, you were going to eat up your energy and you would go back down to your base form. And that was a mechanic that I think was one of the best things that they ever could have in one of these games. And I was really hoping when I heard that Sparking Zero was going to be part of the Budokai series, because I guess in Japan it's always been called Sparking Zero. I was really looking forward to going back to old school where you picked a character, you worked on your power, you transformed, and it was going to be awesome. And then I heard how big the roster was going to be, and I wasn't quite sure what was going to happen. And after seeing the roster, I am not too excited for the game. I think that we're getting quantity over quality. I cannot honestly say that it's 182 different characters, and here's why. Okay, so like I was saying, if we go ahead and look at this roster, it appears to be fucking huge, which sounds really cool. And there's some characters on here, I'm not gonna lie, that I think sound pretty fun. You got like Rib Rihan, Rosie. Oh yeah, Analaza. That's when is that when everybody formed or something? I can't. I know it was in the Tournament of Power. But you know, like characters like Chaozu, Cybermen, and in my opinion, some of these characters were literally just to pad the roster to say, "Hey, look at how many characters we got." And we go back to what I was saying before about in the older games you would work on your power levels, and that was a lot of fun. That was a great mechanic. But in this game, you got Goku Z early, Goku Z mid, Goku Z mid Super Saiyan, Goku Z end, Goku Z end Super Saiyan, Goku Z end Super Saiyan 2, Goku Z end Super Saiyan 3, Goku Super, Goku Super Super Saiyan, Goku Super Super Saiyan God, Goku Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, Vegeta Scouter. Now, this is where I will say it's a little different. When you get Great Ape Vegeta, I would consider that a different character. I might be able to consider like Majin Vegeta a different character. It's kind of tough on that one. But that's my thing. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 Gokus, 11 different Goku variants. Then you have, let's see, and I do believe there's actually more Goku variants down the list. So you get 11 Gokus, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13 Vegeta variants, 1 Piccolo. And I guess that's where my biggest problem with this is you're boasting 182 characters, but 20 something characters already. Was that 20? I don't know if I said 23 or 24, but you got like 24, 25 characters that are just Goku and Vegeta alone. We've got Gohan, future Gohan. So 2 different future Gohan. So that's from the Trunks movie. You got Gohan Kid. Now I will say, Kid Gohan, Gohan Teen, and Gohan as adult. I would actually call those different characters. However, you've got like Trunks with sword, Trunks Sword Super Saiyan. You got Trunks Kid Super Saiyan, Goten Super Saiyan, Gotenks Super Saiyan, Gotenks Super Saiyan 3. And all of these, again, you're just padding the roster with different forms. And I know the argument, some people are like, well, they have different move sets. Okay, but you could have gotten the same thing by, once you transformed, your moveset changed, and that would have again added something different. I do see Kale and then Super Saiyan Kale, but I could have sworn, wasn't Kale a legendary Super Saiyan? Same thing with Kefla with Super Saiyan 2, the green hair, that's a legendary. But you got Vegito Super God, Super Saiyan, Gogeta. I mean, again, look at, you got 3 different Gogetas, 2 different Vegetos. Frieza, you've got, here's Golden Frieza up here, but if we scroll down the list a little bit more, so that was one variant of Frieza, Frieza first form, Frieza second form, Frieza third form, Frieza fourth form, Frieza full power. And like I said before, you got Chaozu, Cyberman, Cell first form, second form, Perfect Cell, Cell Junior. And my thing is, who the fuck is going to play first form Cell? Oh, it's going to be awesome. No, because Perfect Cell is going to have a better moveset. He's going to be more powerful. Having all the different Boos, aside from Super Boo and Super Boo Gohan absorbed, Gotenks absorbed and Gohan absorbed, that one's kind of the same. I would have actually have them get a power level and do some sort of transformation animation. But I can get on board with Majin Buu Evil, Super Boo. But then here we go. We got an Ultimate Gohan. Gohan is adult Super Saiyan. Who the fuck's gonna play as Babidi? Great Saiyaman. Another Frieza variant. Piccolo fused with Kami. It's just, this is a really big roster, and some of them make sense. Frieza Force Soldier. No one's going to play as a Frieza Force Soldier. Okay? Kaba, I think, was a great addition, but Kaba Super Saiyan 2, and just regular Kaba. Why? No one's going to play base forms of these characters, because theoretically, the Super Saiyan 2 Kaba should just wipe the floor with regular Kaba. So that makes 0 sense to me. You got Goku as a teen, which I thought that was Kid Goku, but yeah, again, I will actually say when they're doing the age differences, that's going to be that's understandable. You got Janemba and Super Janemba. I can see some of these. I can see because their forms are so vastly different. But when it comes to just your standard, like Lord Slug, I don't see, most people that follow Dragon Ball now don't know who these characters are, because they started, a lot of people started watching with Dragon Ball Super. And I know that might sound crazy, but if you grew up watching Dragon Ball Z, you're probably one of the only people that knows who's Super Garlic and Lord Slug. And I'll be honest, I don't remember Dr. Wheelo. I do remember Android 13 though, and he was pretty awesome. And again, with Android 13 and Fusion Android 13, how Android 13 became Fusion Android 13 is he took the energy cores from, I don't know if it was 11 and 12 or 14 and 15. I don't know. It was the other 2 androids that he's with. He took their energy cores and became Fusion Android 13. So I could argue that they were, in fact, different. But, I mean, again, we got Broly here. Broly Super Saiyan from Z, and then Broly Z Legendary Super Saiyan. That's regular Broly Z. And I'm sure Broly Super was in here, and I just passed him. I don't see them not having that. Oh, look, another Goku variant, another Vegeta variant. Oob from GT. And I've never watched GT. I couldn't stand. I tried to watch it. I just couldn't get on board with it. So they're pulling in characters from just about everywhere. And I know that I remember seeing one on here that was like Spopovich. That's it. He was the one that, I don't know if he was the one that held Gohan or the one that stabbed him to take his energy during the Buu saga, but he was in like 1 or 2 episodes and maybe a couple more. So they just literally threw in characters. Yajirobe. Now, while I like the character Yajirobe, who the fuck is going to play Yajirobe when you can be Zamasu? Or there you go, Jiren full power. So it just, I don't see how they're going to call this 182 different characters. They're not different characters. They're variants of the same character. And maybe some argument could be made for a character like Trunks, future Trunks and Kid Trunks. Well, again, that's the age thing. So they are different, and I will say that. But Cell Perfect Form is... okay, on Cell I can kind of agree to, because Cell did change. He's got more intelligence. So things did change about Cell. But Vegeta and Goku having, almost 1/5 of the roster to themselves. And if we add in their fusion forms, they're a majority of the fucking roster. And that doesn't make any sense to me. And I know they put in gimmick characters like Mr. Satan And I remember in playing Budokai, I would occasionally play as them, and they were fun. But if you were serious and you wanted to actually be somewhat competitive or just, have like a good match with somebody, you weren't picking Mr. Satan with a rocket pack and grenades. It didn't make sense. In there's just so much of the same thing, and that's the problem that I've had with almost every single Dragon Ball game lately is they've been the same game. You go through the same story, nothing changes. They introduce characters, but they're not introducing new characters. Dragon Ball Fighters was kind of unique, but not really, because it was, again, still the same thing. Dragon Ball Kakarot was just the same thing. Xenoverse, you just had to go back and make everything the same thing. We're not getting new stories, and we're not getting new characters. We're being told we're getting, this whole huge slew of new characters or unique characters, and we're not. The difference between Kale and Super Saiyan Kale is, in my opinion, and I know, like I said, the movesets are going to be different, but that could be achieved by, being good at the game, and about halfway through your round being able to transform into a Super Saiyan, and now you have a new moveset. To pawn these off as two totally different characters, I think is disingenuous, and I think it really shows a bigger problem with gaming as a whole. And the worst part is I see so many people that are acting just like, Seals, like, this is gonna be great, and this is quantity over quality. And I think the game's going to fizzle out faster than you think it will. And I know right now the pre-sale numbers are really good. I heard that they're on par with the Call of Duty pre-sales, which that's a pretty big milestone. And I want to be wrong about this, but there is too much of something. And this, in my honest opinion, is too much. I couldn't stand sitting there in a multiplayer lobby waiting for somebody to pick which version of Vegeta they want to be. And let's be honest, it's always going to be Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. Okay, if somebody picks one of these awesome characters, nobody's going to go back and be like, well, let me get Vegeta earlier, Vegeta with the Scouter. It's not going to happen. If this follows the formula of every other Dragon Ball game, the different forms are going to have different like punch levels. Vegeta Scouter is not going to hit as hard as Vegeta Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. So if you decide to pick one of these lesser characters, you're going to handicap yourself. So out of this giant 182 character roster, you're going to see maybe 10 to 15 characters of what everybody's playing as, and the rest are just going to collect dust. Like I said, I hope I'm wrong. I haven't made videos in a while. I got sick for a little bit, but I'm feeling a lot better now. And I figured I'd just talk about this because, I love the Dragon Ball series. I'm really looking forward to the next iteration. I don't actually read the mangas. I watch the shows just because I'm lazy. But yeah, I'm going to cut it there. So hopefully the game does. I mean, I know the game is going to sell well. It's going to be highly profitable. But I hope that people enjoy it more than I think they're going to enjoy it. I think it's going to be one of those games that you get and you want to like it more than you actually like it. I think people want to like the amount of characters more than they're actually going to like them. All right, take it easy.